This is Alan Shelley from Rock and Roll Over, and you're watching Godfather TV. Boom.
So you guys watch this Godfather TV that's on,
Yeah, I've seen it. You know that Chuck that he thinks he's the best drummer in Dallas? Are y'all aware of this dude? Come on.
Chuck,
What?
I've seen
Yeah! He thinks he's the fucking shit. I know, right?
I know.
But what about Al?
Al, I know. What kind of producer is he? I mean, come on now.
I mean, seriously, in Godfather, what the hell is
Exactly.
that all about?
These people just,
fucking-
hey, hi Jeff.
Oh, hey man,
What's going on, guys?
Godfather TV rules!
Welcome to Godfather TV with your host, Jeff Dennis, Chuck Encinius, Technical Director Al Mead, with Walter Webb as Ozzy. Tonight's guest, Donny Hart.
Hey DFW, welcome back to Godfather TV, where we like to bring you everything rock and metal that DFW has to offer. I am your co-host, Chuck Encinius. Before we get into it, I just, past few episodes I've been kind of an activist, So I just want to bring up something that's really near and dear to my heart, the plight of the African Walla Walla bird. Back in 2005 when the market crash happened, they've become homeless now. Can't afford to pay their mortgage or their rent, and they're homeless now. So if you could just help us out, us three, Don and Jeff, to just get some inspiration going for these Walla Walla birds that need a home. Maybe you can adopt one for 1 cent a week. Anyway, details to come, but here we go. And I want to introduce the Godfather himself, Mr. Jeff Dennis.
Yeah, 1 cent a week? Come on, can't beat that. Hello everybody, welcome to the new year, 2023. This is our first recording. Hey, this is live. This is live.
Let's start
What
over
can
again?
we do? No, we're
Okay.
good. We're gonna leave that part in, we don't give a shit. We try to bring all the local DFW music legends from the last 30, 40 years into the studio, and you can't have a show that has that category without including this young man right here, Mr. Donny Hart. Thank you. Most of y'all know him as the singer for Desperado now. He's been playing all over the country doing Eagles covers for the last 10 years, making big money, getting rolled out the red carpet.
So big.
Big money.
You don't even know.
But for old schoolers like myself from Dallas, Fort Worth, mainly Arlington, Fort Worth area, we know him from the 80s and all of his bands that he was in back then, and that's what we're going to be diving into today a little bit, and then we'll catch up with what's going on now and some other surprises. But anyway, let's get started. You're always the brunt of my favorite trivia question. Whenever somebody tries to stump me and there's some stupid question, I always throw back, who was the original singer for Pantera? And 99 out of 100 is going to say Terry Glaze. Woohoo! And I say wrong, Donny Hart. Yes, it's true. This young man was the singer for Pantera before they were anything. They were just cover band, basically. High schoolers.
Yep.
You went to a different school than they did, right? How did that happen?
Well, I started off going to the same high school.
Oh, okay. I know you went to Sam Houston. I didn't know.
I switched to Sam Houston in my sophomore year, but that was just because I wasn't getting along at Bowie High School very good. So,
Right.
and that was kind of a rift between me and the guys anyway. When I switched schools, they found a different singer at that point.
Yeah, but Terry was already in the band. He was keyboards.
He's actually the answer for who was the first lead guitar player for Pantera.
Yeah.
Oh, wow, I didn't know that one.
Well, when I saw him, I saw you at the Knights of Columbus in the clubhouse, and you were singing.
Big time back then.
Yeah, big time. Hey, it kicked ass. And Terry was playing keyboards and rhythm guitar. Daryl was lead,
Yeah.
Vinny, and Tommy Bradford was
Yep.
the bass player.
Yep.
And that's where I first saw Donny sing, and then next thing you know, he's not in Pantera anymore. And we're not going to sit there and talk about Pantera this whole show, but it is true, and he is the original lead singer of Pantera.
I'm that old.
Yeah.
And that is that.
And it's true. I don't care who you are. It's true.
Jeeves, look it up.
Ask Jeeves,
Okay.
please. Ask
Right.
Jeeves.
Siri?
Anyway, and then probably within less than a year after that, I remember seeing you in Boss Tweed. Now,
1982.
1982. Boss Tweed was one of the most notorious bands back then. And they actually had a singer and everything before Donny also.
Yep.
But I didn't really know about them then. I learned about them when Donny was their singer. Lance Williams on drums, Damon DePere on guitar, and Scott Wood on bass, right? That's
And
the Boss Tweed I know.
And Paul Bull on
Paul
guitar.
Bull on guitar,
Yep.
yes.
Yep.
He wasn't there very long.
He was there for
mainly-
about till '83, I think.
Okay,
till,
yeah.
till we took our California tour, and
Yeah.
that was enough for Mr. Paul.
Did you leave him
Yeah.
in California? Did you leave him in California? You decided to stay.
No. He decided that our crazy was a little too crazy.
Ah, yeah. Well, there you go.
Yeah, Lance is a crazy dude. I'm gonna try to get him on the show one of these days if I can break him out of his little
I want to come back if that ever happens.
little cave. I know you probably have some stories. I know I saw y'all
man.
once. I saw y'all once at the Loft in Arlington. He came out of a casket.
Yes, that was.
I heard rumors y'all dug that up from a graveyard.
That-
you know how rumors.
I can neither confirm nor deny that. However, that is false.
Okay.
So I guess I just deny it.
I know.
Yeah.
I love all the stories how they escalate over
Oh,
the
of course.
years.
If you've got a casket, obviously you dug it up from somewhere.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
just the way it goes.
Yeah. And he would sing Buried Alive by Venom and come out of the coffin. It was great. He sang a couple songs. Donny was released. And they just did some great cover songs. They did Tank and YNT and Holocaust and, I mean, some really cool stuff.
Plasmatics.
Plasmatics. Yeah, they did some cool
Plasmatics,
stuff
wow.
back then. A lot of cover bands weren't doing cool shit like that. And then they also put an album out, which is hard to find, but you can find it. And they were also on a compilation called Iron Tyrants, mid-'80s, put that out. And you got anything else to say about Boss Tweed? What happened? Why did it not last? And
Well,
how come y'all didn't get signed? Or, I mean, did any things y'all tried to do?
we
that didn't work?
always thought we were on the verge of being signed. And that being said, we went really, really far out of our way to offend everyone. And
You mean Die You Bitch wasn't a love song?
well, to us it was.
Oh, okay. Yeah, that was a great song.
When you hang your hat on offending people, it makes it hard for record companies to get warm and fuzzy with you, and that's pretty much the reason we never got a label. We talked to Megaforce for a long time, Johnny Z in New York, and we just never came to terms with it before we broke up.
Do you remember the water slide show that my band Eruption and y'all played
Yes,
in Arlington?
absolutely.
Oh, shit, the
How many
eruption
fights were there that night? That was one of the most crazy nights.
I don't know. I wasn't in one.
I wasn't in one either, but it was a crazy show in the middle of a field with a water slide behind us. I don't even know they had a permit to have that show.
I think that was shaky at best. Was that Jerry?
Jerry Warden.
Yeah, that was a Jerry Warden production. So, love you, Jerry.
Yeah, but it was a crazy show for sure.
Bunch of metalheads with spikes on and
Yeah, it was something
sweating and
else.
drinking beer and
But yeah, look up some old Boss Tweed on YouTube and anything else you can find. You'll see some cool stuff. What'd you do after that, Donnie? The Zoo?
I went to the Zoo after that, and the Zoo was another cover band. Mike Baisden and Gary Short and Mark Bruglia was the guitar player, and we played locally for another year and a half to not much fanfare, just
Yeah.
playing clubs, and that was about it. I mean, there wasn't much to the Zoo the first time around.
And then you formed Assassin? Or did you join Assassin or did you form Assassin?
It was most of the way formed when I joined it. Scott Wood from Boss Tweed was already in it, and
Mark Tremere
Mark Tremere from Eruption was in it, and yeah, so they played the kind of metal that I liked, and we started going. And we started getting pretty good.
Y'all were awesome.
We started drawing pretty good crowds at Savvy's and Joe's Garage and the other places we were playing at. And that's the band that got Pantera reinterested in me again for a minute.
Y'all used to get all the opening slots for Sweet Savage and
Yep.
Stiff and, and even Pantera and just anything that the bigger bands that played Savvy's. Assassin was on the bill, and they were awesome.
Yep.
Todd Rowley on guitar,
And Stoney Martin's on the drums.
Yeah, Stoney. But yeah, I was wondering though, how come y'all never did any originals, or did y'all, and
We
nothing
actually
ever got released?
we
or?
did have a EP that we were floating around. It was 4 or 5 songs, and we gave one to Z-Rock, who was popular at the time, and we submitted it for their Railer of the Month original music competition. It was a nationwide competition, and we won it. So we were Railer of the Month with the song "Welcome to Our World."
Wow. I need that.
Yeah, I need that too. If you find that, let me know.
Yeah, I don't have that. I need that.
Yeah, but like all the other bands, they just, you kind of hit the wall at some point, and Scott left, and things just didn't work out.
Yeah, that was about 87.
That was just the early part of '87, I think, when Assassin fell apart.
And where'd you go next?
I wandered around for a little bit, like out in the desert, and
Yeah.
The giraffe incident.
we said we weren't going to talk about the giraffe.
Damn it, Jeff.
I didn't bring it up.
Al, you should have reminded me. Now I'm in trouble.
I remember Maximum Current came out sometime after that. Was
Yeah.
that your next band?
No,
Or-
the band after that in 1989 was Outrider.
Oh, okay, I remember that.
Yeah, and that was the guys that were forced entry. When Dave Peacock, their singer, left, I came in and we changed the name to Outrider, and we were doing some prog rock,
Oh, nice.
prog metal.
And their guitar player for Forced Entry was like one of the finalists every time Dimebag was a judge. He was always like a really good in the contest.
Don't doubt that at all. I would have that's Greg Bell.
I think he
Yeah.
was. I think he was in. Some of
He
those
was a very,
contests.
very incredible guitar player. It still is.
Well, yeah, like you said, somewhere in there, like '86, he got asked to come back and play live shows with Pantera while they were looking for their next singer. I don't know if they were
Not exactly the way they
Not the way they worded it?
They worded it to me. It was like, yeah, man, you're the guy. Come on, let's do this thing.
Okay.
So I decided that, okay, I'll go back and do this again, and quit my little bitty day job that I had that was barely supporting me, and went on the road with Pantera for what turned out to be 6 weeks.
Yeah. And then next thing you know, Phil's coming in.
And then, we hear about Phil.
Yeah. Rest is history.
And the rest is history
history,
because
yep.
Phil was the man for him.
Yeah. And Outrider ended around, what, 90?
91.
91.
And then Maximum Current.
Maximum Current, I saw them at DCL.
Yep. We played, we opened for a bunch of people at DCL. King's X and Dream Theater. We opened for Dream Theater out there.
Wow.
We almost couldn't
That's crazy that
think of the
Dream Theater
name.
played
Damn.
Dallas City Limits.
Isn't that crazy?
I know. Back in those days. you
That was
didn't know.
that was the very beginning of their Images and Words tour.
Wow.
It's insane.
That was 89, you said, right?
was 92.
That was probably 92 or
92,
93.
gotcha.
92
yeah.
or 93.
Yeah.
And they had y'all had some good songs. What happened to those? Just fizzled out like everything else?
In the Wind. Yeah, we put out a 8-song CD, but band strife, can't get along, and
It's always one. It's like,
And you're like, come on, man. How many times I got to do this?
don't you? Like,
well, I thought I was going to have to do it like forever, and
Right.
turned out I was right.
It just takes like one, right, Don? It just takes like one person or just one little thing. And
Sometimes it doesn't even just take one
I
thing.
know,
It just
it's-
takes like the
I
wrong
don't
look on
understand,
your
man.
face
Exactly.
or
it's just, I don't know, man. I don't know.
the wrong
Freaking
girlfriend in
bands.
the way at that point, or
Right.
who knows.
Man.
And then, and then there's about 10 years there, I can't account for you. What happened then?
Well,
Raised kids, got married. and
Back
all
to the
that?
desert.
Yeah.
Back
More
to the
giraffes.
giraffe.
Yep.
Yeah. That giraffe has a restraining order on me though, so I can't talk about it. I quit music in '94, got married, moved to Longview, Texas, and
I'm sorry.
don't be.
The Longview part.
Yeah.
Not the married part.
Sorry.
Hi, Sam.
He doesn't, Longview, I'm so sorry. He doesn't know. We'll figure it out.
Okay.
Hey, my son won a karate tournament in Longview. I have good things
See?
to say about Longview.
See?
Yeah.
There you go. Longview, home of karate.
Home of the ATA. Yeah. Well, not really, but anyway.
So I went out there and started my own business, repairing mobile homes, which is pretty good business in Longview, Texas.
Yep.
And my wife describes this point as the worst part of our marriage, I think. Because I was not playing music, and as she would put it, I was a complete asshole,
Dang.
which is probably pretty fair.
Because in your mind, you wanted to be playing music, and you just were in denial, or?
In my brain, I had shut the door on it, and I wasn't going to do it anymore, even though I still had a room full of equipment.
Of course.
That didn't get too dusty. So she goes out to a bar in Longview one night, and I stayed home because I had worked long that day or something. I didn't go with her. And she comes back and she's like, I saw this band, and they need a singer. And I thought, that's weird because I'm a singer.
Coincidence.
So she convinced me to go check them out, and
You agreed.
I did, even though I was an asshole, I agreed. And so I walk in the bar, like on a Friday night, and I look up at the stage, and I'm looking at the guys on the stage, and I'm like, I know that dude. I know that dude. I know that dude. Okay. So the band is a band called U.S. Lords, and it was Donny Pendleton from Black Horse,
Yep.
Joel Parks from Ricky Lynn Project,
Wow.
and Head East, and R.J. Jones from Savvy.
Yeah.
And they were all living in Longview, and so I told them that there was no way I could be in their band, and that it was out of the question. So I started getting phone calls. Man, just come out and do a couple songs. No big deal.
You didn't know the singer? You didn't recognize the singer?
They didn't have a singer. They
Oh,
were all,
they-
they all
oh.
three,
Oh, they
Joel
were
and
singing.
Donnie sang, and
Yeah. They reeled you in.
Yep.
Longview, good for fishing.
Longview.
Yeah.
Good for singers.
Good for fishing lead
Good for
singer.
fishing lead singers.
So it goes from a couple songs a night to, okay, I'm just going to come out and do the last set.
Exactly.
Yeah. So fast forward 2001, we played a bunch of shows and went a bunch of places.
What were you called?
U.S. Lords.
U.S. Lords, that's right.
Yeah. And we were the house band. Okay, picture this because it's Longview.
Okay.
You okay? It's Longview.
I'm bringing tears to my eyes.
I know.
Just
So
to hear
we're
you
the
sing
house.
again.
We're the house band. We play every Friday and Saturday night. We never tear our equipment down, ever.
Ever.
Unless we have to go play somewhere else. That didn't happen very
And
often.
what club was this?
A place called Guys and Dolls,
Guys and Dolls.
and it was painted bright pink on the outside,
Wow.
Wow.
which was also like big in Longview. I don't know why.
Nice.
What, pink?
Yeah, no, just painting your bar pink.
Oh, okay. Gotcha.
Building is now a church, by the way.
Nice.
Hope they did an exorcism.
You remember a place called Wontons? Wonton, Chinese restaurant.
In Longview?
Yeah, my son played there in 2005, and it was a metal bar at night, Chinese restaurant during the day.
I bet I know the place, but it
And-
wasn't called Wontons
And
back then.
while you're sound checking, the people are eating Chinese food
Yeah,
all through the time.
yeah, yep,
How
yep,
come Taylor didn't tell that story,
Yeah,
Jeff?
it was,
yep.
I'm mad at you, Taylor. You should have
Yeah.
told that story.
Taylor, holding out, man.
Right?
yeah.
So, so Friday and Saturday night, we play 4 or 5 sets, from 80s rock, 90s rock, current stuff then. And it was wild. It was nuts. I mean, it was BYOB, and they would sell setups, so our table just looked like an open bar all the time.
Nice.
Yeah,
That's rock and roll.
yeah, my liver hurts.
I bet there
Thinking
was
about it.
never a fight. I bet there was never any girls getting taken home. I
No.
bet there was just,
Well,
No girls passing out. No people passing out because they were responsible drinkers.
obviously, everyone was not over-serving themselves
Exactly.
because they were very responsible.
yeah.
Yeah, fights? No, no. I will tell you that every time a fight broke out, we played,
Rod,
I wish I'd have thought of that.
Wipeout.
Wipeout, yes, yes. Every time, we would just kick into Wipeout until the fight was over,
nice.
which usually didn't take that long, because drunks don't fight very long.
Right?
And, okay, so 2001, our business goes out of business, because 2001, 9/11.
You fixed all the mobile homes.
And all the mobile homes were completely fixed. No one needed anything ever again.
You call Donnie the Maytag man of mobile homes.
I am.
Once he fixes them, he fixes them.
That's
That's
it.
it. He put himself out of business.
That's right. I made them where they were permanent homes. They weren't
There you
even
go.
mobile anymore.
Yeah.
Poured the foundation, everything. Yep.
So 2001, you decide,
Well, I moved back to Dallas. Me and the family moved back to Dallas. We have 3 kids.
Oh, cool. How old are they?
Let's see.
You have grown-ups now?
yeah, they're grown.
42, 38, and 36.
Wow.
And then they have how many grandkids?
And we have 11 grandkids.
That's what I thought.
Our family
Grandkids rule.
Our family is prolific.
That's
I'm
awesome.
telling you.
So, yeah, came back and chopped my hair off and worked for a while, and really it was tough at that point. We weren't making much money. So I wasn't in a band again until 2007.
I know this one.
My buddy Brian Christian
I know this one.
from Outrider had been talking to some dudes about doing a new thing to us called Tribute Band.
The Alan Parsons Project.
Not exactly.
I know this one.
I know this one.
Jeff
too.
knows this one. So this band became Judgment Day, which was Dallas's first Whitesnake tribute band.
I used to love sharing the stage with you guys, man. You know, when I was in Judas Rising,
Yeah,
I used to love. We used to play Firewater all the time.
all
remember?
the time, all the time.
Donnie was David Coverdale.
Yep.
Yep.
Oddly enough,
Yeah.
singing for a Whitesnake band, you somehow have to
I
be
know it.
David Coverdale.
There you go.
And Donnie used to have his shirt open the whole fucking time.
He was at Russell Contreras.
This is
Was in there, right? Bradley
Bradley Nowd, Dave Harvey, and Brian Christian,
And Alex, right?
and Alex, yeah, on the keys.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Good band.
Rod Hodder on drums.
And you were also the original lead singer of Millennial Rain, right?
Yes, about that time, Dave had his original project starting off, I think he was starting off at that point, called Millennial Rain, and he's put out a couple albums since
Yeah,
then.
they got picked up on a label.
Yeah.
And actually, they've had 2 albums out. He's
Yeah.
releasing a 3rd one of it.
Yeah.
It's actually an album, it was their first album, but it was not really on their label. They're re-releasing it now.
Yeah, and
But Donnie
it's
was
great.
the original of that band too.
Yeah,
Right.
it's great. If you haven't heard it, I'm not on it, but check it out. It's really good.
And Millennial Rain, when I was in From Creation, we used to play with Millennial Rain all the
That's
time.
right, that's right.
It used to have fun. Yeah, that was cool. Ridgely Theater, huh? We did Ridgely
Yeah.
and a few
Yeah,
other
we
places.
did Ridgely and.
Rockstar Bar, I think.
Yeah, Rockstar Bar a bunch.
Yeah, right,
Yep.
yeah. Man, that's a long time ago.
But yeah, that was the first time I had seen Donny around in like 10, 15 years.
It'd been quite a while at that
When he
point,
started
hadn't it?
doing those two bands, I was
Yeah.
going to
I
all
mean,
the
I love
shows.
Dave, don't get me wrong, but Dave's pitch to everybody was, hey, I'm starting that White Snake band, right? And you know who our singer is, right? And I go, no, I don't know. He's Donny. You know who Donny is, don't you? No, I'm not too familiar with him. He's a
Yeah,
singer
'cause
for
you
Pantera.
didn't get to town till
Singer
late
for
night.
Pantera. He's a singer for Pantera. Ex-singer for Pantera.
Yeah.
So that was the sales pitch.
That was the sales.
That
Well, I'm
Dave
glad
was-
I could
Right?
grease the wheel a little
Yeah,
bit
heck
for
yeah,
that.
dude.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, we used to have some fun times, man, playing with Judgment's Day. Those were good shows. You guys should bring that back.
You're not the only person who has said that.
You guys were way too good not to. You guys are way too good to stop gigging. You know, I mean,
if you know, again, just guys in the band weren't seeing eye to eye on some things travel wise, and
just to do a couple local shows,
You
man,
know-
that'd be fun.
if you can get everyone else to agree to it, I'm there.
You want me to work on it?
You know what?
You trust me?
I do.
It'll get done, right? It'll get done.
It'll get
Okay, Don, you gotta give me the phone number before we leave, because I'm gonna make that
Okay,
happen.
all right. Don't be sending me weird pictures though, okay?
Oh, I can't guarantee that.
Okay, that's fine.
And then you kind of morphed into the West, which was your acoustic.
Yeah,
set, which y'all did some killer stuff.
I know,
Which
dude, I remember that.
Yeah, so I ran back into Todd Riley at the end of the Judgment Day days. And I had not seen him since Assassin. And he'd gone through some hard times, and he was trying to get his music going again, and there was a female singing with him. He and Debbie Irene Ides were doing a duet, and you know, I thought, cool, that's a cool thing. That needs to happen. So I told him if there was anything I could do to help him get going, or you know, if he wanted a third voice in the band or whatever, that would be cool. And they said, sure, let's do this thing. So we started a little acoustic trio, and we called it a whole bunch of things at the beginning. But we ended up on, I think after Debbie left us, we ended up on Into the West. And yeah, we played acoustic shows for 3 years, I think.
Nice.
Used to go to a lot of those. Those were great. They did like Vandenberg and Rainbow.
dude, I saw a
and
couple of
Crosby,
those
Stills,
shows.
Nash and Young.
We did some,
Just all over the map.
yeah,
It's
did some Black
great
Sabbath
stuff.
and-
Yeah,
Hell
just
yeah,
great
man.
stuff.
Those
Yeah,
are
Children
good.
of the Sea.
You guys
Yeah,
are really
just
good.
Cool stuff.
But that was the point where we started really thinking about, okay, we sing pretty good together, and we're doing some Eagle stuff, and it's getting pretty good response. What do we think about maybe turning this into an Eagles tribute band? And at that point, maybe a year before, Mel Biddick had joined us on the drums. He was doing our drums and singing the third part. So yeah, that's where Desperado started off. We were Into the West at that point still, but we were Into the West Eagles tribute.
Just for some,
Didn't Donny Pendleton jam some with y'all? Or was
He
that
played with us at a-
Or is that just guest? Like a
That
guest
was just like a
appearance?
guest thing.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Not that we didn't, we tried, you know, for a minute to get him in there, and he was doing his own thing, and that was cool, so. But guys we got now are great, you know, so it all worked out.
And then you turned it into Desperado, and
Yeah,
the rest
when
is
Todd
history.
left, we changed the name to Desperado, and still going at that.
And y'all are-
killer, man,
y'all
killer.
get booked out of state, right? Some, or not enough? Or- Seems like
you
you
know, we play in like 5-state area, but we don't get to every state every year. We go up to Oklahoma quite a bit. We played in El Paso. Actually, I think we were in New Mexico at that point several years ago. We haven't been back there at the dog racing track.
Where, in New Mexico?
In El Paso.
Oh, El Paso. Yeah, we just got back from El Paso a couple months ago with the Queensryche tribute.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
We're just over there. And New Mexico, where did you guys play in New Mexico? Was it Hobbs?
Well, we were really close to the borderline. We weren't really sure where we were at, so I wasn't sure if we were in New Mexico. I mean, we were.
Tucumcari.
No,
We weren't in
Tucumcari.
Tucumcari.
No, Tucumcari is way north.
Yeah, I got the T-shirt from there.
Right. And by the way, if you guys are going down I-40 coming into New Mexico, Tucumcari is the very first Blake's Lauderburger you pass. Don't pass it up.
Yeah.
Blake's.
Right. So what was I going to say? So going back to Mel, your drummer Mel.
Yeah.
I don't like that guy, and I'll tell you why I don't like that guy. He's good looking, right?
Yeah.
He plays the shit out of the drums, and he can sing.
Yeah.
I don't like you, Mel. I don't
Yeah.
like you at all.
Mel, he's coming for you.
Is he? Oh well, I'm sorry. It's Donnie's fault. He told me to say that.
Mel was, in the late 80s, Mel was in one of my favorite local bands, Stone Hart. But he wasn't in it when they were in Dallas. He joined them when they went to L.A. to try to be rock stars.
Nice.
Yep.
No,
I
Al's a
didn't know
good
that
guy,
till
man.
recently,
Yep.
so.
I love Mel.
Mel has LA stories.
Cool.
Nice.
Cool. So you guys gigging out a lot, Don? Have you had any gigs this year yet?
We've done 3 gigs so far this year.
Wow, already?
Yeah.
Jeez, man.
It's not.
Good for you guys, man. Good for you guys.
Yeah, the year started off a little slow, but we did 2 private parties in a week, and
Hell yeah.
nothing
That's
wrong with
always the
that.
big bucks there, the private parties or the city parties. Those are always the good bucks.
Yes, they are.
Yeah, the
Yes,
city
they are.
ones are.
The city.
I hear the
There's
city
no
ones are
shame
really
in it.
good.
You know you're one of the highest paid tribute bands in town, so don't even start.
They're very kind to us. I'll put it that way.
Let me ask you a question, Donnie. Do you guys, and you don't have to tell me, I mean, we can edit it out or whatever, but do you guys have an exclusive with Lava Cantina?
We have not an exclusive agreement with Lava Cantina, but there is another venue in their vicinity that they frown upon us playing at.
Okay, that kind of answers my question.
Revel? Oh.
No.
No.
No. Well, Chucky Productions, you know which, I don't have to say it.
Yeah.
But anyway.
It's similar to a box.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Gotcha.
Wink.
Oh, I know what it is.
Yeah. But, that sucks. Anyway.
Yeah.
That sucks, but it is what it is. So, can we get into something that I wanted to talk about, Donnie? Besides the giraffe?
Is it a giraffe?
No.
Okay.
I wanted to talk about the cease and assist letter we were talking about. Can you talk about that, or would you prefer not to?
I can tell you what I know about it.
Please, please, please.
Okay. Okay.
Why don't you explain first what you're talking about to the people?
Well,
that-
from what I understand, and you just correct me if I'm wrong.
Okay.
I think Desperado was supposed to play at House of Blues, wasn't it? It was a House of Blues gig.
Yes.
Okay, it was a House of Blues gig, and I guess that same month, or just in that same quarter of that year, the Eagles were going to be here at the American Airlines Center. So I guess their management sent Donnie and his guys a cease and assist letter that they couldn't play. So if you can elaborate on that, Donnie, if yes or no, or if I'm out of the ballpark or in the ballpark.
You are 95% correct.
Awesome.
Okay.
Good.
The way it went down is we'd already played a couple shows at the House of Blues in Dallas. And we'd done well. We had sold them out. And we had another show on the books. It was about a month away, and we got a call from the booking agent, and he said, this booking is canceled. And Mel, who handles our business, said, well, what's the deal? Why? And it was because Don Henley is on the board at Live Nation, and he does not want you playing in any Live Nation venues or any Eagle tribute band in the United States. So from that point on, we were persona non grata at all Live Nation venues.
That sucks.
And then at that point, we started getting what we think were probably bogus lawyer.
Oh, they're
letters.
bogus letter.
Yeah,
Okay, I got you.
Yeah, wanting money per performance and things like that.
Yeah.
Which, you know, number one, Mr. Henley is wealthier than most people in the world.
Of course, yeah.
And to think that he needs our little bit of change every time we play a show is silly, in my opinion. And yeah, he's a giant prick.
Yeah, well,
Well, you go back to the Texas Jam 3 when the Eagles headlined, and there was a battle of the bands around Texas, and Savvy won it, and they
Yeah.
were going to open the Texas Jam.
Yep, I remember.
The day of the Texas Jam, the Eagles said hell no, and they kicked them off the freaking
Oh,
thing
that
after
sucks,
all
man.
the promotion and all the stuff they went through.
Yeah.
They didn't get to play the Texas Jam because of the Eagles or their manager, one of the two, I don't know, but
It's
either way.
pretty much all the same thing.
Yeah, it's all related, I'm sure.
I mean, I know it's
So-
great music and everything, Don, but does that kind of give you a bad taste in your mouth, or because Don Henley's a prick?
You know, the
Sure,
short
you sing Don Henley mostly?
yeah, I do. So the short answer is a little.
Yeah.
But the upside is I love the guys I play with. Absolutely love each and every one of them. And we put so much time and so much energy into putting this whole thing together.
It's awesome,
Months
man.
and months and months of rehearsals
Right?
to try and turn this into something else now would be insane.
Yeah.
Unless
Right.
unless there was just no other path forward.
Right? No, you,
Well,
and you guys
have
are
a lot of
awesome, man.
places you still play.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah,
You don't need
yeah,
the
and
ones
if
that
they
don't.
and if they don't want us, that's their loss.
If they're lost, yeah, they're
So
missing out on the
Is that
packed
agreement
house.
still, well, is that deal still in effect that you guys can't play any more Live Nation venues?
Yes,
Oh, man.
and it
What-
will be as far as
Mark Cuban, you need to step up, right? You need
Right.
to step up, Mark. Give these guys a
AAC.
gig.
That's really
Exactly.
sad because most tribute bands get a little bit of support from the person they're
You know,
copying. A lot of them are on board.
many-
I know
many
Metallica's
do.
had some issues with a few of the bands, but
Not that I've heard.
just some of the made
Yeah.
one band change their logo because it was too close.
Too
or
close,
something. I don't
yeah.
know, but
I get that.
But-
I can see that. You know, if you're infringing on something that is their intellectual property,
Mm-hmm.
that's fine. But if the bar you're playing at is paying their BMI or
Their ASCAP
yeah,
fees, yeah.
then they're getting paid every time we play songs.
Mm-hmm.
They're already getting paid. We're not stealing from them. We're not. I
you're
mean,
not saying they're your songs.
we're not
You're-
saying that bad, and no one would believe us if we did.
Yeah, I know it.
But even like using like the same font as the original band is using, you're not putting out any new music claiming that it's
No.
Metallica. You know what I mean? Under
Yeah,
that.
yeah.
So I don't know. I understand, but I'm waiting for Lars to come after us too at some point. You know what I mean? We'll see what happens. But
They're not gonna, man.
nah,
They're not
I hope-
gonna.
I hope not. But you have a cooler story than us anyway. That's cool.
Litigation's always cool.
Right? Litigation's always cool. What are they gonna do? Fire me? Yeah.
You want to name the guys in the band real quick?
Sure. We've got Keith Goodman is our Joe Walsh. James May is our, well, all the other guitar players.
Right. James used to be in Rockaholics, right? Or was
He,
that
he
Def
was
Legend?
in Def Legend.
Def Legend.
Yes. We've got Dave White on keyboards.
I know him.
Yep,
He was
he's-
a mannequin.
He was in Mannequin. He's been
Saigon Kick.
Warrant.
Warrant.
Yep.
Nice.
He's been in some big ones. Mel on the drums, of course, and Ty Weatherly on bass,
Nice.
And Donny Hart on vocals.
and me on acoustic guitar and Don Henley's
Don
vocals.
Henley's Dirty Laundry vocals.
That's right. I dirty him up just for Don.
Do you do that song? Even though it's
We
not
do.
Eagles? Nice. Cool.
Yeah, we do solo stuff too.
Yeah.
Awesome.
A lot of Joe Walsh stuff and stuff.
I,
just
and
saw him
this sucks,
recently.
Don, but I haven't been out to see an Eagle or a Desperado show. I have to do that. Mel's always invited me, but you know how it is. Sometimes you're gigging, and
I understand,
You know.
but if you want to make it out,
I'm going
we'll
to,
make
man.
that. We'll make that happen. Let me
Oh,
know,
yeah.
and
Oh, yeah.
let me know, and we'll VIP.
Yeah, we saw them in November.
I
and
appreciate
we were
that.
so glad we went. They were really good.
Yeah.
This is the time of the show where we like to take a question from a celebrity call-in. So we're going to do that right now.
Hello, Godfather. Hello, Chucky. Congrats on your guest this week, a singer from the Eagles, Don Henley. Very well done, mate. I've got a very important question for you. Don, was a singer, you go to a gig, you have lovely, but you smoke and you have alcohol and cocaine, and what do you do? You have someone put a show and hello, and got a little frog in the, in the gullet. Anyway, well done, lads.
Did you get that?
Can you translate that for me?
Well, what he said was, being a vocalist, what's your advice to any young singer or other singers out there that maybe are losing their voice quite often? And what would your advice be where they can keep the stamina and longevity of like a career like you had?
Got it.
Without
Okay.
losing their voice. What do you do?
I have lost my voice before. At the end of Boss Tweed, I couldn't sing anymore. So I had to take time off and think about it for a little bit and kind of go at singing a little bit differently, because I thought when I was younger that the higher you sang, the more kick-ass it was, and that is definitely not the case. So I went back to, when I was in high school, I was in choir, and I went back to thinking about what they taught me in choir and how you breathe from your diaphragm. When you breathe, you don't breathe up, you breathe out with your stomach. And you ride on that air and send it out through the top of your head. And really, that's basically how I sing. Warm up good and go get them. Go kick
And
ass.
just blow it up top of your head.
Yeah.
Kind of like the lizard that breathes through his eyelids, kind of like that one. Yeah, kind of.
I breathe through my eyelids all the
Can
time.
you lick your eyes, Donnie, like a lizard?
Yeah.
I'm not going to do that here. I don't want to freak everybody
Yeah, we
out.
don't want Dan Castillo to get jealous.
Yeah. Thanks for that question, Walt.
Or whoever your character is.
Or whoever you are.
Right?
Any other, anything else you want to mention? You got anything you want to plug or?
Come see Desperado.
Come see Desperado.
TributeDesperado.com is our website. You can see all of our gigs on there. And
Look for the new Brady Bunch show with 11 grandkids. It's coming out soon.
we should, we do a Christmas treasure hunt every year for the grandkids.
Nice.
Wow.
And we should record that and put it out because it is insane.
Next year, what you could do is you could bury Don Henley's ego somewhere and have somebody find it.
My yard's not that big.
Nice. Good one, Donnie. Good one.
We always do a top 5 to close out our episode, and today we're going to go out on a stretch here. And since he's the singer for the Eagles tribute band, we're going to do our 5 top Eagles songs of all time. And I know you don't like the Eagles, so you
No, it's not that I don't like the Eagles. I just think Don Henley's a prick. So he doesn't deserve my top 5.
Okay.
Jeff?
Anyway, we're going to do, what are your top, not necessarily the ones you like to sing, but
Right.
ever since you were a kid to now, the one you're like, man, that fucking song kicks ass. What are yours?
Boy, well.
Only 5.
Obviously, the Eagles catalog is prolific and huge. And I'd be lying if I said I knew every song on every album, because I don't.
Oh, dude, let's wrap it up now.
Sorry,
No,
Mr.
let's wrap
Henley.
it up now.
Yeah. So, these are my top 5. Number 5. We're going to go backwards in order. Disco Strangler.
Good one.
Number 4. One of These Nights. Number 3.
Tres, for all my Latino-speaking
That
brothers.
actually matched.
Yeah.
Number 3, Rocky Mountain Way. Not actually an Eagles song, but they still play it all the time. Number 2.
Número dos.
Number dos.
Numero 2 is I Can't Tell You Why, the Timothy Schmidt song. And numero 1,
Da-da-da-da-da-da. Número uno.
Life in the Fast Lane.
In the fast lane.
I remember when that first came out, that riff was like, damn, that's almost metal, man.
Yeah.
You know, back then.
I relate with that song. It reminds me of our boss Tweed days.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
You think if you were to relive those now, Donnie, you'd break a hip?
I think I would die.
Yeah.
I'd just die. I wouldn't even break anything. I'd just die.
Right. Well,
So I don't.
Chuck, you got any Eagles songs? Top 5?
Nah.
You don't have any?
Top 5 Judas Priest songs?
We already did
we've
that.
already done Jesus
Oh.
Priest. But I'm gonna let. Hey, Al, what's your top 5 Eagles songs?
I'll give 2.
Okay.
Life in the Fast Lane, which is like the most rockin' song. And then the solo one, I don't know which one of them did it, but it's on the heavy metal soundtrack.
Don Felder.
Don Felder.
Heavy metal. That should have been in my top 5.
Yeah,
Right.
that's
Okay, I'll take those 2. And
I want your 2. I want your 2 included on my 5.
well, you're the guest. You
well,
can
I
have
got
7.
My favorite Eagles song of all time, by far, "Victim of Love."
Victim of
I
Love.
That's a
love
good one.
that freaking song.
That's a good one.
I left very disappointed that y'all didn't play that, but it's okay.
Come back. We'll play it.
I know.
All right.
One of These Nights, my second favorite. I always loved that song since the first time I heard it when I was in 8th grade. That's when it came out.
Mm-hmm.
I just dated myself.
I dated myself a lot in high school.
I know.
I'm gonna go date myself when I get home.
You got to pour beer on your hand to get it drunk first.
Nah, dude.
Okay.
No, bareback.
Number 3, Witchy Woman.
Good one.
Number 4,
Solid.
Hotel California. No matter how many times I hear it, it's still got that fantastic lead
Yep.
solo in the middle of it.
No doubt.
Is
And
that
number 5? I Can't Tell You Why, which I've always loved that song.
is Hotel California like the Stairway to Heaven of the Eagles?
Kinda.
Yeah.
Would you say that?
Yeah.
I would.
Man, I don't know how I just came up with that, Don.
Man, that is deep.
Man,
that is so deep.
That might get us an Emmy. Just that right there might get us an Emmy.
Right. You heard it here first. Chuck's Philosophy 101.
Anyway, folks, that's going to be it for this episode. We'd like to thank Donnie again for coming in.
Man, my pleasure. Thanks for having me,
Taking a
guys.
moment out of his busy schedule to go down memory lane and look up all these bands that we were talking about. There's some good shit out there in the 80s.
Some good stuff
Metals.
back in those days, for sure.
And if you're not familiar with none of that, or you don't like metal, then go see his Eagles band.
Yeah.
Because I think they're actually better than the Eagles. I've seen some video of the Eagles. They sound just a little bit better than them now, so.
I'll be looking for that letter, Mr. Henley. Thank you.
Right.
Right.
I said it. No, the letters to him, but I said it. Anybody else got anything they want to close
Yeah.
with?
What was I going to say? Just to remind everybody to look us up on all our social media platforms. We are on YouTube, on Godfather TV. Just get on there, like and subscribe. We are on Facebook at Godfather TV. We have an Instagram page at Godfather TV DFW. And also, keep sending in that fan mail for Nigel the dog. You know, he's we're going to have to get him a publicist. So,
What's our MySpace?
MySpace is, I don't even remember what our MySpace is.
I don't remember mine either.
It's like Godfather TV at myspace.com.
I think so.
// Yeah, Tom is my friend on Facebook. But anyway, for Al Mead over here, for Jeff Dennis, and the badass Donny Hart, I am Chuck, and we will see you next time. Cut!
What's up, my metal people? This is Jimmy Adcock from Nitrate, Snakeskin Cowboys, Lizard King Infestation, and I think that's it. I'm a gig whore, what can you say? But hey, check it out. You're watching my favorite TV show going this day, Godfather Television. Check it out. Tune in. Keep rocking.
Hey, this is John Inman from Def Legend and Tube Sock Screamers and These Nuts and like a bunch of other bands I can't even remember sometimes, so we'll just forego that part. Look at Facebook for that. But you, just like myself, are watching Godfather TV.